Good evening, Des Moines. Welcome to the Doc and Lefty program, coming to you from the webcast1live.com studios and broadcasting to you from docandlefty.com. That's a lot of .coms all in one sentence. Of course, this is Lefty. As always, we're bringing you the perspectives you love from the sides you hate. And across the table, I don't have a bump for you, my man, because I'm just so over it. Dr. Petrosh. Doc, what's up?
You can't ever get over this bump. I'm telling you. It's 300 pounds of bump. There's no getting over it. That's all I got to say.
Not even like with a ladder?
All right. Like
a step ladder?
Step stool.
Yeah.
You can get over like that.
What's happening?
Not much. Just hanging out, enjoying the day. Want to say thank you to you for helping me get out of a ridiculous seatbelt ticket last week.
Oh,
so
well,
thank
you're
you very much.
You're very welcome.
And want to say thank you to all of our listeners because I think my brother Joe is still sick down in the back, and so we want to thank our other 5 listeners.
Yes,
all right. So that's always nice.
Maybe my brother-in-law is tuning in every once in a while. He does.
Really?
Yeah, up in Minnesota.
Well, hey, yeah. Bro, what's his name?
Andy.
Hey, Andy. Thanks for filling in for my brother while he's ill. For watching the show.
I can't guarantee it. I'm just saying every once in a while. It turns in. Yep.
You had some gigs last week. How'd they go?
I did. Oh man, I'll tell you what. So if you are in the Venn diagram that is listeners of this show and participators in the Big Wheel Rally on Ingersoll on Saturday, I gotta say, good job, folks, for showing up at the Yacht Club at 4:30. I think I played an extra hour. The place was packed. It was crazy. I heard that by about the thing kicked off at 11, and with T-shirt sales and donations, they had already hit about $40,000 by noon.
No kidding.
In like an hour and a half.
Wow.
And so I think that they probably set a record. Big shout out to Austin Gill, who kind of helped organize that thing, and the rest of the folks who brought me in. My buddy Brian Congdon made me hip to the gig. It was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of cool people. Saw a lot of interesting costumes running around on Ingersoll. It was just a great thing. Unfortunately, I was sick pretty much all weekend, and so having to play it a little bit sick was kind of a drag. So my Sunday, I was not feeling so hot. But we're here. We're going to throw heat today, and we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff.
Because there's a lot of things today that we disagree on wholeheartedly.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Immigration. I think you and I disagree a little bit on that. We're also going to talk about the governor being the longest-serving governor in history. That'll be
Despite
fun.
my best efforts.
Despite you and Ed's best efforts couldn't get him unseated.
Yep.
I want to say I hope my brother Joe gets feeling better. He really has been. My brother Joe is really a pretty tough guy. So the fact that he has been down and out for 2 weeks in a row with an emergency room trip really lets me know he's not doing well. So, anybody out there want to, say some good words to the Almighty to help him out, I'd appreciate that. In fact, I even think that Lefty over here would be amenable to saying a shout out to the powers that be.
I hope you get better, buddy.
So, a lot of interesting things that have happened internationally. I'll just fill you in real quick. Putin has said, geez, I think we're allowed to use nuclear weapons in the desert against ISIS. Goodness. 2, they have done several tests of the cruise missiles because the last ones that they shot a bunch off of were off by several hundred miles. And this one apparently went off by 700 miles too and hit somebody actually in Russia, which is,
it's not good.
Yeah. Imagine if that had a nuclear warhead on the tip of that.
Is that basically? That's basically like you're trying to throw a baseball and it goes off sideways and hits your first baseman on the side of the head.
Oh yeah, or worse yet. Yeah, well, in this particular case, they're shooting at it serious, so this would be like hitting your center fielder.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh,
with a pitch. Yeah, that's what happened. So, and they claim it was a missile test and all that. I've got to kind of say, The other thing is China, and this is a big deal, is starting to uncouple its it's yuan. Is that how they pronounce it?
No. China's currency?
Yeah.
The renminbi.
All right. They're uncoupling that from the dollar. And they're trying to create their own currency with India and Russia.
Right. Well,
that's the next step.
They're setting up a separate reserve from the IMF. It's a move that eventually
fraught with peril.
Eventually it's been so unstable the last few years, and they've been in kind of for them what they would consider a recession for the last little while. But what is interesting that they do it now, they're set to take over basically as the major world economic superpower in about 50 to 60 years, where the IMF would have to very, very strongly consider the reserve currency going to the I think it is the yuan. The renminbi might be something else, but that going to the Chinese currency instead of the dollar in the future. Why they would want to do this now, I don't know. It seems protectionist to me.
Well, yeah, and China is all about protecting their economy. I mean, they make no bones about it. And so you have to appreciate their stance. Over in the Middle East is still a big old mess. Syria is still a big old mess. Everybody over there is in a big old mess. Germany, and then we'll hit this point in the next segment when we talk about immigration. Remember when they said, we're going to take up to 800,000 refugees and all that? Well, apparently they're not. And so they went, we can't do that. And so now there's all kinds of chaos going on over there. In Ukraine, this is great. Remember how we always see these foreign countries where their legislature gets together and they just a big old brawl erupts? Well, that's what happened last week, and it just happened again this morning. Last week, it was the finance minister, Yatsenyuk, I think is how you pronounce it, a strong ally of Poroshenko. Somebody came up, gave him a bunch of roses in the middle of his speech, and tried to haul him off, right? Picked him up physically like a bride, and then chaos and a brawl ensued. And this morning, now this is a throwback name, Saakashvili. Remember that guy? Yeah, he's governor of Odessa Oblast. And which means that's outside of Kiev. That's probably the most important state that they have, and they call states over there oblast. And the port of Odessa is corrupt, and I mean corrupt like you've never seen it. I mean, it's got nothing on the mafia out there in New Jersey, and his job is to clean it up. And he's directly accusing the finance minister Yatsenyuk of, "Hey, listen, you're the one blocking this." I think came to blows in front of Poroshenko. And the whole meeting had to be adjourned. And so that is the state of Ukraine currently. So keep those poor guys in your hearts, especially the orphans, because these guys, I mean, the worse the economy does over there, the less these kids eat. So, pray. And if you feel the need, pick out an orphanage over there, send them $100 or $50. I tell you what, you can feed that entire orphanage for about $200 a month. That's how cheap food is over there. Anyway, well, we're up against the break. We're going to be back. We're going to start talking about immigration and the obligations the president has and the obligations we have to take refugees from around the world. We'll be right back. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We want to thank all of our sponsors, Bertrosian Associates, Lubinas Law Firm at lubiнаslawfirm.com, Halo Capital at DesMoinesInterestsRates.com, Des Moines Anesthesia PC at 515-574-6442. They do pain management and anesthesia. They have offices here in Des Moines and at Fort Dodge. So if you have a chronic pain issue, these are the people you want to call. We have new blogs up this week, which is exciting. So go to docandlefty.com and check those out. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks, everybody, tuning in. We'll be back right after this break.